Hello, my name is June Pagan and I'm a private health chef. I'm in the process of making a breakfast today and I was thinking about, of all things, breakfast meats. I love bacon, but I don't get to eat it very often. I realize that it's not the healthiest food to eat, and so what I've decided to do was to demonstrate a turkey sausage. That is very suitable as a breakfast sausage, and also it can be added to other dishes such as pasta. And so I'm going to get started with that right now. I have a pound of ground turkey. This happens to be a local brand called Shelton's. They're out of Pomona. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of crushed garlic, or finely chopped garlic, to the pound of turkey. Then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sweet paprika. There you go. We also have crushed fennel. This is about a teaspoon of crushed fennel. If you don't have fennel, you can use anise. This is an Italian herb. We can use this to flavor the Italian sausage. I'm adding it to my breakfast sausage because I love fennel. I'm also going to add half a teaspoon of salt, sea salt. This is an important ingredient in the turkey sausage. Now, when you buy turkey sausage commercially, often it does have a high salt content. If you make it yourself, you're able to control the amount of salt that you're using. So I have my basic recipe right now, and I'm going to add some seasonings to it. For example, maybe a touch of fresh sage, which I have right here. I'm going to crumble a little bit of sage into the mix. Sage is beautiful for a breakfast sausage. You could also add fresh chopped rosemary or thyme. Okay, I'm mixing up the turkey sausage mixture right now. And I think I'm going to add just a little touch of extra virgin olive oil to give it a little bit of a flavor component. And then I'm going to let this mixture sit for about 10 minutes to a half an hour before I prepare it. I refrigerated this mixture for a few hours, and I'm going to use it as a breakfast sausage. Why? Because it's a great alternative to bacon, pork sausage. We really don't want to eat too much pork. It's controversial whether or not bacon is actually healthy for you. And so I've chosen and have used turkey sausage as an alternative to bacon as a breakfast sausage for nearly 20 years. I learned how to do this when I was at the Pritikin Center. I actually created this recipe when I was there. Now, I have the mixture sitting for a couple of hours in the refrigerator. I'm planning to test the recipe by sauteing or cooking the sausage in a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to use the excess and add it to the turkey itself. I'm going to test the batch by making a small patty and sauteing it in olive oil to see if the seasoning is correct. And I will make any adjustments that I need to make to the sausage mixture before I start actually cooking them up for breakfast. So now I have my mixture in the pan. You can hear the sizzle. I am starting to cook up the turkey sausage to taste it. In the meantime, I'm planning to make potatoes with the sausage. And so I've taken russet potatoes, which I've cut into large dice. I am putting them into simmering water. There's no salt in the water. I'm going to cook up the potatoes until they're tender. Then I'm going to strain them off. And then I'm going to pan fry them in a low and slow fashion with onion and olive oil. And that will accompany the turkey sausage. And I might even poach an egg to place on top. Okay, I already tested the turkey sausage and it has the right amount of salt. The only thing that's missing, which I forgot to add, is pepper. So I'm going to add pepper right now. I'm going to mix it up. I have my large cast iron pan heating up. As you noticed, I'm heating it up in the dry state, and I will add oil to it once the pan reaches about a medium temperature, about 200 degrees. We have a nicely seasoned large pan that I'm using this morning. Turkey sausage has a good flavor, and so I'm planning to start right now. I'm going to add just about a tablespoon of oil to the cast iron pan. Since the pan is very well seasoned, the sausage should not stick to the pan. I'm going to take about a 2-ounce dollop of the turkey sausage, and I'm going to pat it down like a hamburger patty, or just a patty. It's about a 1/2 inch thick, and then I'm going to add it to the cast iron pan. So this is about a 2-ounce portion, which is really enough for one person for breakfast, especially with a poached egg on top. And what I'm planning to do, since there are 3 of us, we will have the sausage patty with potatoes and an egg. And I will take the rest of the remaining turkey sausage, which is Italian seasoned, and later I will demonstrate a dish using the turkey sausage, cannellini beans, and pasta. Okay, well, I turned over the turkey patties, the turkey sausage patties, and they're cooking on the other side. I have it at a low flame, and as you can see, some of the juice seeped out of the turkey, and so it looks very moist. And we'll let this cook for another probably 8 to 10 minutes, at which time I may cover them. I let the turkey sausage cook for about 5 minutes uncovered, and then I covered the pan. At this point, I'm going to touch it to see if it's cooked in the center. This is an old trick that steak cooks use to determine whether or not a steak is at the proper degree of doneness. I can tell that there's very little resistance, and so the turkey sausage is completely done. I'm going to cover it and leave it and let it sit until I finish the potatoes. I'm making potatoes in red onion aromatics, and so I've started my red onion. I use about 1/2 of a red onion, sauteing slowly, in low and slow fashion in Nouveau olive oil. After the onions become tender, I will add the cold potatoes that I simmered until they were tender, until they were just tender. I'm planning to add these potatoes to the red onions, and I will cook those together as an accompaniment to the turkey sausage. The reason why I like to cook potatoes in the simmering water and then let them cool down is that when you cool down potatoes, they become a resistant starch. A resistant starch is a soluble fiber that will act as a prebiotic for the probiotics that you consume. So essentially, it is fuel for probiotics. I am now adding the potatoes, which have cooled down, and as you may notice, they are in large dice, which really increases the resistant starch. Mix them together a little bit. I'll add a little bit of salt to the mix. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. This is a mixed pepper blend. Actually, it's a 5-pepper blend from Silva. There is a little bit of salt in that mixture, so I'm going a little bit lighter on the sea salt. And I may also add some sweet paprika, which will give the potatoes a nice color. So there you go. I'll cook this mixture for another 10 minutes, and we'll come back to see how they look. Turn the potatoes over. There you go. You can see that they've only browned slightly, which is really what we want. Just a little bit of a brown crust. It is crunchy, using just a scant amount of olive oil. We now have our water up to a simmer. We'll be poaching 3 eggs to serve on top of the turkey sausage and the potato. I do not add vinegar to the water that is used for poaching eggs. I don't care for the flavor that's imparted into the water. What I first do is I open up an egg into a cup to make sure there are no shells, and as the water is simmering, I carefully lower the egg into the water. I'm going to make 3 poached eggs, so I will be repeating this process 3 times. Making sure that the water doesn't go below a simmer. You don't want the water to be still. You want it to still have bubbles. It shouldn't be boiling either. Boiling will disrupt the cooking process and will cause the egg to cook too quickly. You don't want the center of your egg to be overcooked. So now I'm waiting for the water to come back to a little bit of a simmer, light simmer. Okay, we are now at a simmer again, so I will add the 3rd egg. Okay, I'm plating the breakfast. Take some of the potatoes and red onion, place them at the bottom of the plate. Then I'll take the turkey sausage and place one right on top of the potato mixture. And then I'll use a slotted spoon and remove one of the poached eggs from the poaching liquid and place that right on top of the turkey sausage. We could garnish this with parsley, chopped parsley, or a little bit of seasoned salt if you wish, but right now I think that looks pretty good. Bon appetit.